Hey there guys, Young Woodsman here. Today I will be showing you how to trap a squirrel. So the traps that I'm going to be using today are first this trap. This is called the Squirrelinator trap. It's designed specially for squirrels and it has worked very well for me. And the other trap is this, just a giant two-door regular steel trap that can really catch anything that'll fit in this. And this has worked very well for catching squirrels too. So let me show you how they work. So the way the Squirrelinator trap works is you can see right here there's a little door, and the squirrel will poke its head in here and lift up this door and go in, and it closes behind the squirrel, but you cannot push the door back out because it is locked. So this way the squirrel will go in and not come back out. Right here too is an opening, so you can open the door up and then you put your bait right in there. And then when you're done, you close it up, you put these things back on, and then you're all ready to go. And that is how that trap works. And now I'll show you how I bait it. Now here's how to bait your trap. These right here are my favorite baits. Apple cores, they work really well. Squirrels like something that's sweet and it's round and they can chew on it easily. Also just acorns, regular old acorns from an oak tree. And then black walnuts, those work too. Squirrels like to munch on them. So what you want to do is open up your trap here, the door. And what I like to do is take my apple core, break it in half, and then break it in half again, and put one half at this door, and one half of the other door over here. And with this trap, you want to have it on some kind of surface where there's a bottom. You don't want it like suspended in the air or spanning kind of gap, because the food will fall right through the bars here and then you won't catch any squirrels. Then I take a big apple core, I split it in half too, and put half of it on each side of the trap. Then I'll take 2 walnuts and put them in the trap too, on each side. And then I'll just kind of take some acorns and sprinkle them about the trap where the squirrel can get to them. And then I'll put 1 piece of apple in the middle. And that's all I need to do for that trap. Make sure to close your door up. If you don't close your door, the squirrel can get out. Now, the trick with trapping is it takes patience. It's usually not, unless you're in like a park or an area where squirrels are really tame and you can trap them easily. It's usually going to take a little while. Like where we live in the woods, where there's lots of predators, squirrels are suspicious, so they're not the first day going to come run up to the trap and go in. Also, you have to keep your bait regularly stocked. If it rains, the bait will get mushy and then it's not really any good, so you have to keep it replenished. I like to do it daily just so it's always fresh, and I'll do that somewhere in the middle of the day when the squirrel's not out, and that way you have a better chance of catching the squirrel. And the other trap that I have is just a regular 2-door steel trap. The way it works is there's a plate in the middle right here, and then there's another metal piece that comes down, and you put it behind the plate, and then it comes all the way up and goes up on this side and on this side, and there's a little metal piece that sticks out. So you take your door here and you put it fit it in the little metal slots here, and then it comes down and rests on this piece of metal. And then when it rests on this piece of metal, you can see that the plate is holding it. Then when something comes along and pushes the plate down or turns this, the door goes down. And it does the same thing for both sides. So that's how that trap works. Now I'll show you how to bait this one too. Now with my other trap, I'm going to set my bait and the plate in the middle. I'm going to take the walnut, put it right in the middle of the plate, my apple cores, put them on the sides, that. Then put some acorns in here. That. Then I'll put a few acorns in the front trap. And then I don't think I need this walnut. It doesn't really matter. I'll put this apple in. Chuck the rest of the acorns. Now, when you set this trap, you want to check that right in front of your doors everything's cleared away, because there's something blocking the door and the squirrel could get out. You also want to make sure that everything is flowing freely, that your bolts aren't stuck or lodged on anything, so that way you're sure that if the squirrel goes in the trap and touches the plate, it's going to spring. With this trap, also sometimes it will spring by itself if it's really windy, or if the squirrel's inspecting the trap and climbs over the bars right here, it'll spring it. So you have to be careful about that. This trap is a good bit harder to set than the other one. It doesn't like there. Now you have it centered and you have it set. Be careful if you're putting your bait in when the doors are up. I wouldn't do that, because if it springs when you touch the plate, the doors fall down. It hurts if it falls in your arm. It's happened to me before. You don't really want to do that. So of course you need to pick your spot where you're going to put your trap. I picked the spot right by this tree, and then I'm going to put my trap right there, and the other 2 door steel trap to the left of it. The squirrel will come down the tree, and we'll see the trap, see the food, and go for it. Well, now we have our traps all set, and the last thing to do is get a squirrel. That, like I said, takes a while. Might be a few days. I don't think we are going to get a squirrel for a couple days, at least any possibility, because we have a big rainstorm coming through, and squirrels usually don't like to come out when it's raining or windy. So we'll check in a little bit, see if we've gotten a squirrel.